you're the Detroit Lion fan in the building. It's safe to say Thanksgiving is going to be, in addition to jam the food, it's going to be important for the NFL.
Oh, yeah.
Because coming off last night's win by the San Francisco 49ers, as ugly as it was, as ugly as Brock Purdy was last night, the Carolina Panthers couldn't take advantage of it. 20-9 the final. That was not an aesthetically pleasing football game.
It was not.
The Niners will happy to be 8-4 and sitting in the 7th spot in the NFC wildcard race. There are only 7, by the way, so that would be the last one. Question. Cowboys are 5-5-1. We played last hour that it turns out when the Cowboys were down 21-7 at the half, it was Quinnen Williams who delivered the pep rally speech in the locker room. Their newest acquired player was the guy in the locker room firing everybody up. Listen to this from Nick Harris of the Fort Worth Star-Telegram. He was on 105.3 The Fan, and they asked him, who was the guy that delivered and got things fired up on that side of the ball, and here was the answer.
Yeah, it wasn't shoddy, and it's funny because the guy that I keep hearing over and over when I talk to guys that were in the locker room was Quinnen Williams, the guy who got here a couple of weeks ago.
All right, so Quinnen Williams, and then DeMarvion Overshown bringing the energy. Talking about if we want to be the number one defense and get the playoffs, we got to win these games, and they came out and took a stand and blanked the Eagles in the second half, allowed the offense to come back and win at 24-21. Question here, because the Cowboys play the Chiefs.
Yes.
Middle of the day. Houston Texans fans and fans of that team are rooting for the Cowboys in a big way. They need the Chiefs to lose.
They do.
Because the Houston plays the Colts this week, then they play the Chiefs. And they're jockeying for spots in the NFC, or in the AFC. But in the NFC, the early game is the Packers and the Lions.
Yep.
And those two teams are both ahead of the Cowboys. But they're both behind the Bears. So who should Cowboy fans root for at 11:30 or noon on Sunday? Does it matter? Because my guess would be what everybody that's like the Cowboys should be rooting for the Bears to collapse.
Yes.
And one of the teams that plays on Thursday to win the division, and that opens up a spot, right? Potentially for the line, because the Bears are right now occupying the division. But the Bears, who don't seem to still suck as they have for a long time, they're sitting at the top of the division. But the remainder of their games, including a game Friday, on Black Friday, they play the Eagles. If you remove the Cleveland game on December the 14th, they play Green Bay twice. They play San Francisco, Detroit, and Philadelphia.
Yeah, not easy.
So the Bears could collapse.
They could. And
not win the division.
Right.
So what you would push for is the Packers or the Lions to win the division. The loser of those two would be a wild card, and then the Cowboys could slide in, and Carolina falls apart. I don't know who you root for.
What's insane is, especially if it's the Packers-y, and I don't know how the tiebreakers work with the tie. What if they have the same record and they tied head-on? Then do you get to conference play? Probably, I'd assume.
You'd go to conference record.
Wow.
You'd go to conference record.
Because that game right there, what if it comes down to the teams that tied 40-40 in Dallas?
Yeah, that would be incredible.
But yeah, I think the Bears, listen, credit to them for winning these games, but now they're going to play some different competition. Although Philadelphia's offense hasn't looked amazing, they are sitting there with 8 wins. But you just said it. I mean, look at their record schedule remaining.
They have 6 games left. 5 of them are very losable.
Right. The thing is, you got to take care of Detroit. If Dallas is real, they got to go to Detroit next week if they win, and they can beat them head on. So
that's right. In Motown Thursday night.